project was developed, and I compliment the foresight of those involved in developing the whole facility up there. There's a seamless integration between the technology park and ourselves, and when you're up on site you don't know where one begins and the other finishes, and there's great interaction between both entities, and it's really the way forward. Our South Campus then in Clash, 9.4 acres there. Just to give you a few quick facts and figures, 330 staff across the academic supports and admin. Our pay budget last year was 19.5 million. Our total income was 23.1 million. And we commissioned an economist to do a total economic impact of the Institute on Tralee and the wider region, and that takes in the student spend as well, etc., and it was estimated at 53 million annually to the town and the hinterland. And we have significantly expanded our international student numbers, and we estimate that that's worth 6 million to the town as well in relation to that. Okay, I won't go down. We have about 100 and something programmes. I have no intention of going down through them. Just to say that we offer a full range of programmes, from higher certificate to 3-year degrees to 4-year honours degrees to masters by taught masters, and then masters by research and PhD. And it's across all the disciplines: business, science and engineering. So it's an impressive organisation, and I'm proud to be president of it. Right, in relation to the programmes then, we have introduced work placements on all our programmes bar 3, and that's a significant initiative because it significantly enhances our engagement with companies, with employers, with community, because the students are out there working for a semester. They're offered on a full-time or a part-time basis, and over the last number of years we have invested quite heavily on online delivery of programmes, because it is important that people can access the programmes at a time that suits them and they don't necessarily have to drive in to the Institute. Now, I'd like to compliment my colleague Breed McGilligan, the Vice President for Research, Development and External Engagement, because the amount of research activity being undertaken in the Institute has increased exponentially over the last number of years. We have introduced a targeted approach to our research, so we have 5 research centres in the college. As Kerry is the home of tourism, we have the Irish Academy for Hospitality and Tourism. We have the Centre for Entrepreneurship and Enterprise Development, because without our own entrepreneurial skills to drive the economy forward, in Kerry we definitely need that aspect. Then we have the UNESCO Chair. And then the last 2 there, the Shannon Biotechnology Centre, which is known as Shannon ABC, and Intelligent Mechatronics and RFID, which is in the engineering side of the house. And I'll just focus in on the last 2 there for a minute. And I'd like to acknowledge the contribution of Enterprise Ireland. Enterprise Ireland has established 12 research centres around Ireland that focus on helping companies with their research capabilities. And I'm proud to say that Tralee is the only non-city location where there's more than one of those centres based. There are those 2 centres are based in Tralee, so 2 of the 12 are based in Tralee, and it is quite a significant achievement. And just to give you an idea of the scale that's involved there, we have now 80 full-time researchers above at the Institute. They're either research managers or coordinators or research assistants, etc. We have a full scale of research activity. And currently, Breed is managing a research portfolio of 10.2 million, of which 8.7 is being led by IT Tralee. So it is a huge, huge engagement with companies. And I could put up a pile of these slides, but I won't. But they are the companies that we're engaging with. And as you can see, Lieber, Kerry, Dairy Master, Borg Warner, and we have significant research contracts with them. And our objective is to assist them in developing new products so that they can increase the employment in Kerry. As well as the research side, we also have a significant focus on enterprise development. We have the Tom Crean Centre above in the park, and there are 25 companies in there at the moment. And we've just received 3 million from Enterprise Ireland, that's in association with CIT, to roll out the New Frontiers programme, which basically identifies companies which have significant potential, and they are being nursed in the Tom Crean Centre as we speak. So we have quite a significant portfolio of engagement on the research side, and we have facilitated up to 88 new start-ups since 2012 between Cork and ourselves. And it's not all down to us, I'm not saying that, but we work in close cooperation with the Leos, with Udras, with Enterprise Ireland and with the IDA. Okay, just to give you an overview of our key strategies going forward. Campus development. The first major significant development is the Kerry Sports Academy, which is to be built on our North Campus. The second aspect is that we have a split campus between North and South. It is really, I suppose, the biggest drawback at the moment. And we see it is important that all our activities are integrated onto the one site on the North Campus. The Kerry Technology Par, which we're working with closely. The Munster Technological University, which we're working closely with CIT in relation to that, and funding. Now, if you've got very good eyesight there, if you can spot that, but the white buildings are where our existing campus on the North Campus, the bits in red at the back at the far end, that's the Technology Park, and we intend to build the Sports Academy in that circular area there in the middle to bridge between both. Okay, so the Kerry Sports Academy, what is it? It's the second largest capital development project in the IoT sector this year, 15 million. It'll be home to our health and leisure programmes. It'll also house our UNESCO chair, the National Centre for Adapted Physical Activity, and it'll also be the Kerry GA Centre of Excellence, as well as a centre for Cultus Culturi Éireann here in Kerry. And I suppose the bottom line of it is, the day of building a facility just for yourself are long since gone. You have to get a bigger buy-in from other entities, and that's why I warmly welcome the GA getting involved with us, and Cultus Culturi Éireann as well. So planning permission has been granted. We have 12.7 million raised. That's 7.5 million from the government and 5 million through philanthropic sources. We have put a foundation board in place, and they've raised 5 million to date. We are currently in the pre-tender stage, and work is due to commence in 2016. And there'll be 120 construction jobs, and it is approximately an 18-month build. So that's a significant development for the Institute. The next aspect of it there then is 65% of our students are on the North Campus, 35% on the South Campus. We need to integrate them all on the North Campus. So we are looking at merging everything on the North Campus, so hopefully there'll be another major capital development project for Kerry when those plans are finalised. In relation to the Munster Technological University, we've completed 3 of the 4 steps at this stage. Now, the international panel at stage 3 conclude, I just took one quote out from the report, and they concluded that, in our experience of universities internationally, this proposed Munster Technological University would sit comfortably in their company. So the international panel has looked at our proposals, and they have deemed them to meet the appropriate standards. And under the proposed legislation, you can't become a technological university on your own. You have to have another partner, at least one partner. And ITT and CIT have been working closely together to create the Munster Technological University. Okay, it's a controversial. I won't say there are challenges. I'm not saying that everything is rosy in the House, but just to put it in perspective, only 2 universities have been established since the foundation of the state in 1922, namely NIHE Limerick, which went to UL, and NIHE Dublin, which went to DCU. And 10 of the 14 institutes of technology are now seeking technological university designation. And the Munster Technological University, you know, when you travel to Dublin, you see the huge economic activity that's happening around the greater Dublin area. It is important that that level of economic activity is rolled out down the country. And the Technological University, establishing a university in Tralee for the people of Kerry, for the wider region, is a key goal of the Institute and a key personal goal for myself, because I see it as a huge economic driver for the region. And when you take the Kerry Technology Par alongside us as well, taking the 2 entities together, the MTU and the park, I see great opportunities there. There are challenges, I'm not denying that, but I'm confident that we have the ability, we have the plans and we have the structures in place to see that delivered upon. In relation to the Kerry Technology Park, you know, Shannon Development was dissolved, the enterprise function went to Enterprise Ireland, the property portfolio went to Shannon Commercial Properties, and Kerry County Council and ourselves are in discussions in relation to purchasing that park, and the conveyancing is ongoing. And as I say, the university combined with the park is a huge, it has huge potential for the county. In relation to the third level funding, as you know, all public entities have received cutbacks and our funding has been significantly cut. The Cassells, Peter Cassells, he was commissioned by the last government to do a review. That report is published soon. And I suppose to highlight it, 5 of the institutes of technology at the moment are running deficits, and definitely we need the present level of funding for third level colleges is insufficient to enable us deliver on the mission that we have. So this is the last slide, and basically what I'm saying is that I have an excellent management team, we have an excellent team above in the Institute, we have very ambitious plans, we want to grow our student numbers, we want to increase our research capacity, we want to increase our international student numbers, and that can only be done working in cooperation with Kerry County Council and your good selves. And I'd just like to acknowledge we have an excellent working relationship with Moira and the team here. They've always been of great assistance to us. And I'd also like to acknowledge the 2 councillors who are on our governing body, Councillor Terry O'Brien and Councillor Cussy Fitzgerald, for their contribution as well. But we have ambitious plans. We want to see we all know how important the Institute is to the town, to the economic activity it generates, and we are committed to ensuring that the campus grows and delivers for the benefit of the town, the region and nationally as well. So I'll leave it go at that, folks.
Bree, did you want to say it? No. You're fine. Okay. Sir Terry O'Brien.
Yeah, Mayor, I'd to welcome Oliver and Bree here today. I'd like to thank the Council for allowing the IT make this presentation to you. I think looking at the facts and figures that were just presented to us, we realise as a town and a county how important the Institute is. I believe that the IT should be here at least once a year, giving us an update of where we're at and what we're doing, because it's hugely important to our economy. The figures that were lashed out there, I mean, if we take them for granted, we're a very silly council. The President spoke of the MTU process. Personally, I believe this is the only show in town. I think it's so important for our IT and for CIT and for the way forward. We've had many people going abroad with their qualifications from IT Tralee, and while they're very highly recognised, etc., a university, a piece of paper in your hand stating university, it goes a long way. So I am 100% behind this process. Yeah, as the President said, it's had some teething difficulties, nothing that can't be overcome. The process was moving along nicely. There were some problems that we needed to address. We've slowed down as a mark of respect to the people who have, I suppose, issues that they'd like to raise, and we are dealing with them. But I firmly believe that this is where we need to be. And Munster Technological University would make a huge difference to Tralee and to Kerry. Huge difference. As for the Technology Park, I'm happy that the Council and the IT are together going forward. This would be a huge coup for this county to have that link on the outskirts of Tralee, just off a bypass, so accessible. As it sits at the moment, as Oliver said, it's seamless. We have staff, students and employees of the park, I think 25 plus companies up there, and it's just, the way it works is fantastic. So the purchase of the park needs to be done sooner rather than later. We need to get to this as soon as we can. The sports project is something that is going to be a massive boost to IT Tralee and hopefully MTU, because we all know when kids look at where they're going to go to school, they're looking at prospectus, they're online, and they're looking at the facilities that we offer. Well, this facility we're starting in September is going to be just a huge attraction for, especially for the kids maybe who are oriented to sport or music. So we can push and develop what we're particularly good at in Kerry. So I can't wait for that to come. I hope we're still involved at that stage, because it's going to be, you know, it's going to be a massive boost for IT Tralee. I suppose in my role above there as chair and acting chair, I must say I have a fierce grow for the IT. I spent time there as a student. I got my wife out of there. I'm not sure if I should be saying that, but I did get my wife. I'll hold that against the President that I got my wife from Cork out of there. But no, look, it's a fabulous facility. I invite any councillor here who hasn't been there to visit our campus. It's a very, very impressive place. We've got a great staff. We've got a fantastic student body up there. We have a rag week. Every year we have the rag week. We never hear bad reports about the rag week in Tralee. We get it from all over the country. The students that come to IT Tralee are very well behaved. They pick their charities. They run with it right. I know that there's lots of fun had, but in fairness, they do behave themselves and respect the town and county very, very well. I again just want to thank Oliver for his presentation, and Breed, welcome you. And as I said, I'll be asking this council again. If not, the council should be asking anyway, that you come down here at least once a year and tell us where we're at and what's going on. Because when you're looking at figures with millions of euro like that, it just points out how important the IT Tralee is to us. So thank you very much. Thanks, man.
Thank you, Oliver, for your presentation. Well presented to us, and I wish you every success going forward. And as you probably see here, that you have the full support of this council with any initiative going forward into the Technology Park. As Councillor O'Brien said, going forward, there is a massive drive on for this university status, and hopefully that that will keep our people in the Kerry region going to your future university. You said that there's an integration between the South Campus and North Campus. What will happen in the event of both of these coming together above in the North Campus? What happens to the region of the South Campus?
Councillor, in relation to that, what we would hope to do is dispose of the building. It's a fine building, and it could be a relocation for some offices, or there might be some private sector involvement in it as well. But at the moment, the cost of running two campuses is quite significant. So there would be great economies of scale by bringing everyone onto the one site.
Thanks, Mayor. I'd like to thank you, Oliver, for the presentation you've just given us. I think it's great to see the ambition declared on this slideshow. I think the fact that the international students, that's a great target market to have. The fact that they're willing to pay international student fees and contribute, they make a massive contribution to the local economy in relation to taxis and sporting clubs and everything like that, so I welcome that. Engaging with local businesses, I think that's very important, and I'm very happy to see it there. I think that if this engagement and acknowledging what the local businesses are trying to achieve and what kind of graduates they need, so that kind of integration is very important. I think the sport campus is going to be massive. As you said, one of the biggest capital investment, 15 million. That's going to create a lot of jobs in the construction sector. And I know there's been a lot of hard work and fundraising going on there, so I welcome that. The MTU, I think that's where we need to go, as Terry was saying. I'd like to concur with him that the fact that you're graduating with a university degree it's beneficial for the students. It's a very competitive world out there, so the fact that they go and have a qualification for university will be much to their benefit. And then finally, just in relation to the Kerry Technology Park, I guess the fact that Shannon Commercial Properties are taking a rent roll out of the Technology Park and investing it in Clare and in the airport, I'm welcome today that we'll have that taken over, and I'm sure negotiations are tough, but I wish you success with that, okay? Thank you.
I'd also like to welcome Oliver and Bree here to the presentation, and thank you, Oliver, and thank you, Bree, for a very detailed presentation. Obviously, it's very exciting times at the moment for the Institute. I suppose everyone remembers back to when it first started. It started from very humble beginnings, a very, very small college, and to see what it has grown to now, it has been very welcomed. And as he quite rightly pointed out, it's worth something in the region of 53 million annually to the county, 3,300 students and 330 staff, and growing. Obviously, when it acquires the technological university status, it will grow much, much more. The courses that have been provided are excellent courses. Something that maybe a lot of people don't know about. You have an excellent nursing course there, and obviously any of the nurses that have qualified there have been much sought after, not around this part of the country, but also in England and further afield. So many great courses in engineering, tourism, etc., and it's very beneficial to the county. A county like Kerry, which is very dependent on tourism, that we have an institute here that's into this. Obviously, going forward, the Sports Academy is a big boost, and will be a big boost to job creation this year when it gets going. 120 people in the construction, and obviously the campus afterwards will highlight the county, and especially Tralee town, and showcase the whole sports aspects of the county. So look, I want to again welcome you. I think, Myra, it would be good if you could organise a bit of a day, some 3-4 hours, for councillors to go up and see what's been done there. It's not that easy to visualise on screen. I think it'd be much better if we could have a half a day up there, that any councillors interested would go up and see what Oliver and Bree are talking about. And I would hope you might try and arrange that sometime in the summer when things are a bit quieter here in the chambers. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Oliver. Thank you, Bree, for your attendance to your presentation. As somebody involved in education, I'm absolutely delighted with the developments that are ongoing, and indeed the college in itself, because you have a fantastic community ethos there as well. I know Seamus mentioned there the nursing course. There's also fantastic media facilities up there, and the people involved in that department are very interested in going out and working in more isolated areas of the county, and that's to be commended and to be supported. The university status that hopefully we'll get across the line has to be seen as a positive and beneficial thing for this entire county. One of our greatest concerns at the moment is depopulation and emigration, and the start of that process is often the young 17, 18-year-old leaving the county to go to university elsewhere. And if an option is available here at home to get your university education here, then you're maintaining people and their sense of identity with the county, and hopefully indeed bringing people perhaps from other areas that are more densely populated to live into the community. And that's something that I wholeheartedly support. So I commend you on your work to date, and any support that we can possibly give you, we'll certainly do so. Thank you.
And I know that when we were in Tralee Town Council, there was a meeting up in the IT, and we had a chance to hear what was going on and indeed taste what was going on that evening as well. And the IT is of huge benefit, not only just to Tralee but the entire region, and even getting down to as many as the mortgage in Tralee would have not have been paid without a few extra quid that's coming in from, say, foreign students that are staying in the town. So where I be coming from is, I support your attempts to get university status, so long as the jobs and courses aren't going to be affected. Obviously, that's where we would like to hold them, because if you added up all the public sector jobs that were lost in Tralee over the past 5 or 6 years, that would be like 2 or 3 factories coming into the town. So, Tralee is a very public sector based town, and we need every support that we can get, but we'll support you, I suppose, with that condition. Thank you.
Yeah, without being repetitive, Oliver, thank you very much for the presentation. And like everyone has said, the IT is one of the huge success stories out of this county, not just out of this town. I want to compliment particularly those involved in the UNESCO chair in securing that, and also those involved in progressing the development of the sports centre. It's going to be a phenomenal asset for you to have up there, and I think will only contribute to increasing the student numbers from the 3,200 to much greater numbers. My only concern is around the Munster University. I can see the advantages that university status would bring, but why I am concerned is there has always been a need, in my view, for students to have that cert diploma, ordinary degree, higher degree route, and I'm hoping, I don't know the detail of the negotiations that's going on, that if IT Tralee does become a Munster University, that progress route will still be available to students, because I fear that if that is lost, then that would adversely affect the numbers of students. And the other fear that I have around the Munster University, and hopefully it will be completely unfounded if it does go ahead, is we started off as a regional technical college, very practical type subjects and engineering, and then we moved into a much broader area of academia, and you've done fantastically with the development of the humanities department and social sciences. I would be concerned that for cost-saving reasons, that one campus would be delivering some aspects of the curriculum and another campus would be the others. And then what we have is we have increased financial pressure on students from this county who heretofore have been able to do a social studies degree at IT Tralee, but now the parents have to incur the cost of accommodation and travel to Cork because it's on that campus. It's going to be. I can't see how it's a benefit for CIT other than having university status in their qualifications, given that there is a long established university, but there are going to be huge advantages for Kerry in having university here. But I just hope that in part of the negotiation that you're going to address those issues of concern and ensure that students in Kerry will have a vast range of course options available to them, regardless of the fact that CIT and IT will be one of the same.
Thanks very much for your presentation. I suppose for us, when we're looking at different kind of economic and social plans, it's great when we have this information and that, it's kept up to date. We understand what we're slotting into strategies as well to try and work with outside organisations. 2 parts of it struck me. The research that you have, where you have outreach to industry, and I was recently on a trip to UL to the Nexus Centre, which is funded partly through Interreg funds. And it's great to see that it's not just focused on the university sector, that the IT sector is also taking that type of approach and is keeping up with those so that there isn't a gap developing between the universities and the ITs. And I think that is a great move forward. And also in terms of your specialisation, it was so clear often when we see plans where people are specialising, organisations decide to actually specialise in everything, but you've certainly picked what you feel are your star roles, and I think that gives a much clearer plan for the future, and it's great to see such focus. Because I know you have plenty of areas that you could choose from, but you have really highlighted what you feel is the way forward. Thanks.
Thanks, Councillor. Just before I call on the CEO to come in, I'd just like to say a few words myself. as chairman of the Economic Development Unit here in the Council, the one thing we've learnt over the last number of years, particularly in difficult times, that if there isn't a heart or a centre of enterprise in the region, you're solely dependent on the assistance or the interest of the state agencies that have no real inherent commitment to it. Their function was, if they brought an industry to this country, their job was done. So having a college and having a centre and having a professional body based here in the centre of our county, involved in the technology park, hopefully with ourselves, and involved in the culture of enterprise and research and development, I think that's a huge resource, because without that resource, the days are gone where we remain solely dependent on the IDA or Enterprise Ireland to do everything for us. We have to set the standard, we have to set the pace ourselves. I also welcome the innovation that has come, and even when you see the advertising campaign by the college to encourage students, I believe that campaign should be utilised to encourage others, that we're 50% cheaper to live in, that it pays to come here, that there are quality of life issues here. So the development and the ongoing, and I agree fully with the Munster University status. If you look at other technological universities, particularly in Europe, they're closely linked with industry, they're closely driven by industry and the markets, and that means, you know, and it means jobs. I represent this council on UCC, on the board of UCC, and the linkage they have with industry and with research and development has been the most significant factor, I believe, in job creation in the Greater Cork region. So here we have a body and an institute, hopefully a university, focused in our community, focused in the heart of our county, driven to succeed in a commercial way, and driven by, if you like, changes that are hopefully will occur. And also, I'd have to say, our own involvement with the college in the purchase of the technology park is a huge step forward. Because if we didn't take this step, you had a situation where this would be a rent roll situation for another agency outside of our remit. So these are courageous times and they're interesting times, but it's the beginning of a process where we control our own destiny as a region and as a county. And I believe the college is at the heart of that process. So I would like to pay tribute to Breed and Alva and all the staff above there on my own behalf. And I just ask the CEO to come in now, perhaps, and with her remarks.
Okay, thanks, Ciara. Just to the President and Vice President, thank you so much for coming today. And I suppose we do have a very strong relationship as a local government sector with yourselves, and I think it's hugely important that we do. I think when you see any models, successful models across any jurisdictions, third level and local government working together for the benefit of their regions is a tried and tested and a very strong model, and I think we have that very, very strongly in Kerry. And I suppose when I see the plans, and Councillor Spring mentioned the ambition that you have in the college, I think it's very, very impressive. I think the university status is very, very important. I think it brings a whole different dimension. I think with the enterprise centres and the enterprise hub that you have in the complex, marry that with a university, you certainly have a very, very strong offering and a very, very strong future offering there, particularly in how it's operated and the links it has practically out there with the industry providers. The Kerry Technology Park, I believe, is a very important undertaking between our local government and the third level institute, be that the ITT or the university. And I think it really brings a focus back here in Kerry on enterprise growth, and we're the people that it matters to, that things happen in that park, that the companies that are there are well-minded and fostered, that the innovation and the research is married very closely with what they're trying to achieve. And furthermore, I think in looking at the expansion within that park, when it's within our own ownership, there are possibilities there. I'm also saying within that possibilities we see an advanced manufacturing facility, where planning has been granted for that. I see opportunity there, and I also see the opportunity in the discussions that we have been having on an ongoing basis with the IDA around the future growth and potential within the Kerry Technology Park. So I think that really is a very strong indicator for our future, and I'm very glad to see our partnership is bringing us in that direction between the two bodies. I think Councillor Seamus's suggestion around maybe a day, we'd gladly, I think, as a local government, be delighted with any invitation that might come our way. And I suppose just to say, look, I think we have a good future working together in partnership, and just to congratulate you on the work that you are undertaking.
And Bree just wants to give a few responses there to Trasa, but just before Bree comes in, like, we're committed to the region, we are committed to ensuring the entity grows, and we'll do nothing unless it's for the benefit of the region. And there's one thing, you know, when I go to Dublin, people say, oh, you're good at football and you're Irish, but we've a very strong engineering background here. If you take Lieber, you take Dairymaster, you take Bord-Warner, and that's why one of our key research centres there is on the engineering and the manufacturing side, because it is important that high-tech manufacturing is made and produced here.
Okay, thank you very much. And again, thank you for the opportunity to present here today. Just some of the concerns that have been articulated in relation to the university. I suppose to be very clear in it, as Oliver mentioned, we're obviously 110% committed or whatever to the region, and I understand exactly what Teresa is saying in relation to the different levels in the framework and having qualifications that people can come out or whatever with level 6, maybe ordinary degree, honours degree and so on, and very much within the technological universities proposal, the technological universities have to retain that remit. Okay, so the university designation is contingent upon us offering those different levels of awards within the framework, okay? And it's also very much embedded on the fact that we, in responding to the regional needs, are still obliged to provide a portfolio of programmes across the different areas of business, engineering, science, humanities and so on. So I suppose to give reassurance, while that would always be our intention, that will be embedded within the legislation and what will be required as part of the Technological University. I suppose the other thing just to mention as well is that, you know, the qualification that one receives from an Institute of Technology is an excellent qualification. But I suppose it's the increased opportunities that one can get from a university designation. Within the area I'm involved with in the Institute, I would, two areas in particular I would just highlight. For example, at the minute in terms of our international portfolio of students, at any given point in time we would have between 250 and 300 students studying with us from abroad in here in IT Tralee, and they're widespread under our Erasmus programs from places like Germany, France, Italy, Spain and so on, but we also have students from Malaysia, Canada, China, India, and obviously a significant number of students from the Middle East. And I can say from my own experience, even marketing IT Tralee as a destination for third level, I spend a significant proportion of my time explaining what an Institute of Technology is, whereas even the name of university has that instant brand recognition as well. And I suppose in IT Tralee, we're very confident that what we do is the same as what's being done in universities. So if we're doing it and we're delivering the programmes and we're engaged in the activity that is comparable to, or in some cases perhaps maybe even higher than what you might have whatever see in other areas, I think we should, you know, be looking for that designation. It's right. And also just one other thing to mention is that, for example, in some activity that we're involved with, like research again, there are certain research funding calls that because we're not a university, we're automatically excluded from in terms of applications. So we've managed to achieve that portfolio of research with the current designation that we have. And I suppose I believe that there is also excellent opportunities if we do have university status, even to maximise more research funding that might be able to come our way, contribute more to the needs of the region in terms of industry requirements, but also create more employment positions in the research sector as well. So I suppose the other thing I'll just finally mention, because I know it's something that comes up as well, and it's again linked back to the point in terms of levels of programmes, we work extremely closely with KETB and other education training boards. And one thing I suppose we're all very proud of ourselves in KETB is that mapped pathway progression. So someone can go into the KETB, get a level 5 or level 6 qualification, and we've had people come right through, coming out with masters then from IT Tralee. So very much part of the new university as well will be maintaining and enhancing those pathways and that unlimited, I suppose, and that's what we say, unlimited possibilities in terms of progression. So just okay, thanks.
Now, somebody mentioned the hospitality. You're invited for soup and sandwiches, not to the same standard, Oliver, that we normally get in the college, even though they're sufficient, but you're welcome to join us, and thanks for the presentation. If we're back at 2:30, we just had the motions there, so if you could be back sharp at 2:30